Welcome back. When it comes to summer cooking, there is one kind of cuisine that rivals the rest: barbecue. And if this rain ever lets up, we're all going to be firing up our grills faster than you can say cookout. Now, to get some tips on barbecue and smoking meat, we went down to Jack's Barbecue in SODO and learned all the secrets, including how to smoke your meat in a regular old charcoal grill. All right, we are at Jack's in SODO. In my opinion, it is the best barbecue in Washington State. This is literally my favorite place to eat. So we thought we'd bring all y'all down here to learn how to smoke some meat. Okay, here we are out back by the barbecue pits, and you may not have one this size at home, but Jack is here to tell us how we can maybe emulate a little bit of what he does. Thank you for having us here today.
Oh, my pleasure, Amity. It's great to see you.
So good to see you. I gotta ask, how much meat can you smoke in one of these things?
Well, we can do about 1,000 pounds in one of those, and we did about 440,000 pounds last year.
440,000 pounds of meat was smoked here last year.
A mountain of meat, literally.
That is a mountain of meat.
I should get a bigger cowboy hat.
You should. You're gonna need a 10-gallon for that. I got to say, you know, it was a tough year with the pandemic, but so glad to hear that you fed so many people, kept us all so happy during that time. But a lot of people started to invest in smokers at home. So we're hoping that maybe you can give us a few tips and tricks on how to make our at-home meat taste maybe just close to as good as yours.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to. Well, the trick to this kind of barbecue is having a clean burning wood fire that's near the meat, but not underneath it.
Oh, okay.
If the fire is right underneath the meat, you're grilling. And that's delicious. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. And for small steaks and thin cuts of meat, you want to cook it quicker to get that nice burn or sear on the outside and flavor. But if you do like I like to do, which is get a big, thick steak, a giant T-bone or porterhouse or anything like that, you want to cook it more slowly to begin with and finish it hot to get that nice sear on the outside.
All right.
So you can kind of emulate what we're doing here. Here we've got a firebox. In 10 feet away, we got a pile of meat.
Okay,
and
10 feet away.
Yeah, well, from 4 to 20 feet away in this case, because these pits are so big.
Right.
And we're doing giant cuts of meat, like pork shoulders and beef briskets, and they take like 12 to 14 hours to cook at a very low temperature. But when you get a steak for your backyard, it's already going to be tender. It's a tenderloin or a New York or a ribeye or even a hamburger patty, right? Anything you do. So you don't have to cook it that long. But for those big cuts of meat, like I mentioned, it's better to cook them not directly over the fire to begin with.
Yeah.
So what I would do in my backyard is set up my little grill with the coals on one side and then no coals on the other side.
Okay.
And one thing you can do is put a log between the coals and the non-side. That gives you even a little better barrier.
Oh my goodness, okay.
And that log will burn a little and give you some good wood flavor.
Wow. And then you just put the cover on top and it creates that smoke?
Right. And so what you would do with those thick cuts of meat is called a reverse sear. So instead of cooking it really fast to begin with and then letting it finish, you cook it very slowly to begin with. Some people do sous vide. People who've got a fancy machine where you soak it in water, it cooks it perfectly. But even on your home grill, if you put it not over the fire but away from the fire, you want to measure that air if you can with a thermostat. If it's around 200 degrees, 200 and something degrees, that's perfect. And then you cook that big thick steak until it's about 110 degrees internally. So you do need a meat thermometer.
Okay.
And I recommend the kind that are instant reads instead of the ones that take 20
forever.
seconds to figure it out. You just put them in and 1 second later it says, when you get that steak to about 15, 20 degrees less than what you want to serve it at. So for a medium rare at 135, you would take it out when it got to 110 internally.
Okay.
So the trick is cooking it not directly over the fire, but in a warm place within the firebox so it picks up some of that smoky, yummy flavor until it gets to about 110 degrees internally.
All right.
Then you take it out and rest it. You put it on your kitchen table for 10 minutes or whatever and let it calm down so it doesn't keep cooking. And then you put it directly, you stir those coals in your pit, or you turn, if it's a gas one, you turn it up all the way. You take that steak back out there and you put it on the hottest place you can find. for about a minute on each side, and you get that nice crust on the outside, and it's cooked perfectly in the middle.
That's amazing. So I hope you got some great tips from that. I literally love barbecue. In particular, my favorite is brisket. So I'm just gonna taste.
Oh my, you can't. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What about everyone else?
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh, well, there's one left.
Oh my gosh.
There's one. Oh, hey, I'll tell you what. You got the collard
finding you all
greens.
over
I'll
there.
trade you the collard greens for the mac and cheese. No?
No. I am a collard greens
I'm
fan.
sticking with the
Yeah.
mac and cheese because Jack's mac and cheese is amazing. I'm just gonna have a piece of this. You're really particular.
I will share the brisket. I like the chicken, but I don't really want anything to do with the chicken because I'm one of those people who, if it's on a bone, I'm like, not sure what to do with it.
Same.
Look
You
at
know?
that cheese just come out of
Oh
the
my
sausage.
goodness. Look at that. Here, I'll hold this for you.
That is so good.
You are super particular about your brisket.
I
because
am.
I've been in Jack's with you.
You did for your birthday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
I like my meat super lean. So I always ask for really lean meat.
Yeah.
And they're happy to accommodate too. They're never like, oh, this girl. Oh, look at that. That looks really delicious.
It is so good. Oh, here's some chicken.
Okay.
It doesn't have
Thank
a
you.
face.
This, by the way, is their smoked peach iced tea. Is that right, Derek?
That is correct.
Ooh.
So they told us when we were there that they smoke the sugar and the peaches.
No, don't mind me between you two.
But my favorite part is when you go there, I like them to add a little peach vodka to this. So there you go.
Well, there you go.
Everyone is very particular about their barbecue. This is Texas barbecue through and through.
Oh my goodness.
But I like this.
You're not eating.
So what kind of what kind of? Because Derek, you're from more Midwesterly areas. What about? Do you like Kansas style better than this?
Yeah, I'm a Kansas City barbecue or St. Louis.
Is that the vinegar?
No, that's Carolina. I like a dry
look at
rub.
that.
I'm kind.
So I like to heavily season my meat before I throw it on the grill.
And I'm equal opportunity, but I love this Jack's sauce. It's a bit spicy, and I love it's smoky and spicy, the sauce.
Yeah.
I love that.
I do enjoy their sauce. There's these. Hey, do you remember what he said about the sausages?
Yes, they are. He gets them out of Central Texas, stuffed with cheddar and jalapeno. As you, when I pull
Yeah.
that out, all the cheese kind of oozes
Now
out.
can everybody
kinda
see
ooze
that?
out.
Yeah.
What I love about barbecue, though, is how everyone is very particular in the areas that either they're from or the style that they like, and you can kind of pick and choose
Yeah.
your barbecues based on that. Like if you're like, I like a Carolina one, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I just
Well, I
gotta
can be
look
in the
for
mood for
barbecue
different
sauce.
things. Like sometimes I'm definitely in the mood for Carolina barbecue. Like I just want, pulled pork on a
Right.
sandwich with some slaw.
Sweetness and
Yeah. But you know what? This is my favorite.
It's delicious.
Hey, let us know what you like, what your favorite kind of barbecue is, or if you have any tips you want to share with the class.